Hello, I'm Brandon House, and welcome to the Straightway TV with your host, Usama Dakdak. Usama, welcome back to your own program.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you
here.
here.
Make me feel special, Brandon.
All right, do my best.
My own program. Praise God.
Well, we do our best. What are we going to
good.
talk about on this program?
Well, what I'm talking about lies about jihad. But before we do that, there is one lie also has been taught to our children about the history of Islam. And I would like to cover this one first quickly, and we'll move to lies about jihad.
All right.
As Muslims try to brainwash our children in our public schools in America to let us know that jihad is not jihad.
But it's not just them, the liberal textbooks that have been influenced by the Islamic worldview. It's also people like the director of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, John Brennan, who we have a video clip of him saying that jihad is a legitimate tactic of Islam. Is it? Don't we? You've seen that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because John Brennan is a convert of Islam himself, and that's one of the great danger, as I told them.
You know that as a fact?
Oh yes.
Or is that
Years
just
ago.
is that your opinion?
No. That's true. That's true. We have no doubt at all.
Why do you have no doubt?
Because that's a fact. Like when I say Obama is a Muslim, that's a fact. Dalia Mujahid, she's a Muslim. She works as a White House. That's a fact. Muhammad Atta is a Muslim. It's these. I mean, for me to tell you that that's not a fact is like me denying that my name is Usama Dakdak. That's a fact. If people want us to investigate these people and go to their homes, break into their homes and find the paper to prove it, that's the only way we can do it. Because otherwise, you cannot prove it. But it's a fact. You judge the tree from the fruit. When I said Obama is a Muslim, I told American people years ago, if he became a president, here is what exactly he's going to be doing. He's going to be hiring Muslims. Well, until today, American people believe he's a Christian. And therefore, he never hired any Muslim. The jihadi are not working for Obama. Well, you keep believing in your lies, and we'll just tell you the truth.
So what you're saying
fact.
is based on your theological studies and the study of their worldview and the fruit of their theology and their worldview, you believe that
100%.
Okay.
100%. Let's look at this last lie concerning lies about history and what they're teaching our children about history of Islam in
World
America.
Geography, a published book, 2005, page 75. The religion Islam has close ties to the prophets and teachers of Judaism and Christianity.
You know what's amazing? Muslims in America are working so hard to say that the God of the Quran is the same God of the Bible. Islam prophets are the same prophets of the Bible. Islam teaching is the same teaching of the Bible. Not only in America. I mean, this does not happen in any other country but in America. Why? Because they're deceiving the Americans. They try to tell you, I'm just like you. There's no difference. Don't be afraid of me. Don't be scared of me. Let me marry your daughter. Let me marry your sister. That is exactly what they're doing. We're not going to take over your country. We're going to hold hand and sing the Kumbaya song. But the truth is, yes, Allah in the Quran talk about creation. But the creation of the Quran have nothing to do with the creation of the Bible. We cover this in our new book, Exposing the Truth About the Quran, the Revelation of Error. Yes, Allah in the Quran talk about Noah and Adam and Noah and Abraham and Moses and Jesus and David and Solomon, all these different biblical names. Most of these names has been changed in Arabic in the pronunciation, but that's not the problem. But the entire stories that try to account, that entire account of all these prophets are not there. They're two different stories. Let me give you just a couple examples. When we talk about creation in the Bible, we know that the Bible said God creates the heaven and earth in 6 days, and read Genesis 1, is exactly what happened every day. Genesis 2 is the details of how God created Adam and Eve. In the Quran, Allah created the heaven and earth in 6 days, but in another passage, there are actually 8 days. Allah creates 7 earths and 7 heavens. In the Bible, 1 earth and 3 heavens. In the Quran, Allah creates the heaven first, and then He creates the earth. Or another passage, He creates the earth first, and then He creates the heaven. So not only the Quran does not match the teaching of the Bible concerning the creation, but the Quran contradicts the Quran about the creation. The earth is flat. Flat earth. Like pancakes, 7 in the top of each other. Muhammad gave us...
That's what the Quran teaches.
Absolutely, exactly. And we're going to talk about this in a future program when we talk about the creation in Islam. And then Muhammad taught that every earth, the thickness of the earth is 500 years traveling. I don't know if that's a camel speed or walking, because there's no rockets or airplane in Muhammad days. And then there is an empty space between each earth and the found earth of 500 years traveling. And then you get to the second earth, and then you get to the third earth and the seventh earth, and so on and so on. But so on and so on. But here is the fact: everything about creation in Islam is a joke. Does not fit the teaching of the Bible. That does not fit the reality
Doesn't
of what
fit
we have.
the known science.
No science. We know the earth is not flat, and we know there is only one earth. Now, If you go to the biblical stories, yes, Muhammad talked about Noah, for example. Noah have one son, and he was not actually Noah's son because Noah's wife cheated on Noah somehow, some opinion out there, because Allah told Noah, he's not yours, he's not your son. Therefore, Noah's son and Noah's wife drowned in the water. So who are the people who believed in Noah? Well, the people of Noah, bunch of them. Muslim scholars disagree. There were 18 people or 120 people. But that is the story of Noah in the Quran.
So the Quran doesn't know if there was 18 or 120 in the ark.
No, there's no number mentioned in the Quran. The scholars disagree
Okay.
about how many we cover all these.
But Noah's wife,
did not make it.
she didn't make it.
Yeah, she was not a very godly woman. She did not believe in him. She cheated on him, for heaven's sake. So anyway,
That's what's in the Quran.
That's in the Quran. No, the Bible tells us 3 sons, Ham, Shem, Japheth, Noah's wife, and Noah. 8 people have been saved from the flood in Noah's ark. So different complete story. Now, where did the boat rested after the flood, the water drowned? Muhammad taught the Muslim, as it is written in the Quran, the ark of Noah rested on Mount Judi. Mount Judi is a mount in Saudi Arabia. He said that actually the boat go in circle around the Kaaba 40 times and then he settled on Mount Judi. Well, the Bible said that the Noah's Ark settled in the mountains of Ararat. That is in Turkey. Well, guess what, Brandon? They found the leftover of the boat in Mount Ararat in Turkey, not in Mount Judi in Saudi Arabia. Which means what? The Quran, archaeologically, wrong. The story of the Quran is wrong. And I can go on and on with every story of every prophet. And that is what we should teach our children in our public school. Not this propaganda, but we actually should teach our children that.
None of the true accounts of the prophets of the Bible or the teachers of Judaism or Christianity have anything to do with the made-up stories found in the Quran.
That is exactly what we should teach our children. So our children will know the Quran is not God's word. The Quran is not a revelation from God. The Quran is a dumb counterfeit to the accounts of the Bible. And the proof is very simple. Read the Quran. That's all. All I'm asking you, as Muslims, or as a Christian, or as an American, read the Quran so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, Brother Brennan, we're going to move on to our next slide.
The truth about jihad.
The lies about jihad. What they teach your children in our public schools by our tax money about jihad, and what Allah taught the Muslim in Islam about jihad.
Okay.
All right? Here's the first lie in the textbook.
World culture is a global mosaic. Page 571. Jihad includes a person's inner struggle to achieve spiritual peace as well as any battle in defense of Islam.
To achieve peace.
Inner peace.
Inner peace inside your heart, inside you. You perform jihad. It's a good deed you do. Not killing. Not killing. That is to do charity work, as we're going to see a little bit later. Or, if you're going to fight, it's only for the purpose of self-defense. Remember the smallest lie we have in our textbooks about Muhammad. Muhammad defended himself. We talked about this when we covered lies about Muhammad. No, jihad was never mentioned in the Quran. Jihad was never practiced by a Muslim in the Quran for the purpose of self-defense. And they will always say that. When you talk about war in Islam, it's self-defense, self-defense. That is a propaganda, that's a lie. Let's move on to another lie from another textbook.
McGraw-Hill, page 129, World History, 192, I should say, to 193. The Quran permitted fair defensive war as jihad or struggle in the way of God. Muhammad's successors expanded their territory.
Look at the two statements. In the beginning, they said that it was a fair defense war of jihad. They performed jihad to defend themselves. But at the same time, they expanded their territories. How does this work? So they were defending themselves in Egypt by taking over Egypt. They were defending themselves all the way to the end of North Africa, Morocco, so they added Morocco. And then they defended themselves in Spain to take over Spain for 500, 600 years. And they defended themselves in each and every one of the 57 Muslim countries. Does this make sense? That's an oxymoron. How can you defend yourself by attacking innocent countries, innocent people in a faraway land to take over their land? That's not self-defense. That is jihad. Mm-hmm. So even what they put in our textbook trying to teach our children is self-defense, it's nonsense. You don't defend yourself by attacking your neighbor's house who have nothing wrong to you to take his wife and his daughters and everything he got.
Right.
That's not defense. That is invading. And that is the true meaning of the word jihad. Another lie from another textbooks.
This is from World History, Pearson Princeton Hall, 2007, page 306. Another duty is jihad or struggle in God's service. Jihad is usually a personal duty for Muslims who focus on overcoming immorality within themselves. At other times, jihad may be interpreted as holy war to defend Islam and the Muslim community. However, just holy war may be declared only by the community, not by an individual Muslim or small group.
So much lies here, Brandon. We can spend an hour on this one lie alone. Jihad is not a struggle. I know they translate it in their English translation struggle. But if you compare this to my translation, you see that the true meaning of the word jihad is holy war, not struggle.
And when you say your translation, just so the viewer remembers, you and your team spent 4 years translating the Quran word for word into perfect English.
Absolutely. And
whereas the other versions have been cleaned up and whitewashed.
Here's a good example. I say jihad 32 times in my Quran. They never mention jihad once. They put it as struggle. Struggle to do what? How did Muhammad understood jihad? How did early Muslim understood jihad? How is a Muslim in the last 1430 some years practice jihad? That is what jihad is. It's not struggle. It's a holy war for the purpose of ethnic cleansing. You clean the land from the infidels. You kill the male, you rape the women and the children, and you raise Muslim babies. And that's how we understand, our Muslim understand jihad in the last 14 years. Only in America, jihad is struggle.
Unless, of course, you would slave them or make them pay dimitude.
Well, that was an option in the early days, but why I take some money from you if I can take all your money? It is a playing a game. 929 is abrogated by 9.5. 929, it gives you the option of giving jizya, the tribute tax. But 9.5 does not have jizya. We can read both of these verses and people look it up. 929, you can become a Muslim, or you pay jizya, or I'll kill you. 9.5, which is the final word of Allah, after the 4 forbidden months. See, 929 is good for 4 more months. But after this 4 months is over, 9.5, which is the verse of the sword, give Muslim 3 options. Give the non-Muslim 3 options. I'm going to kill you, take your women and children for slaves, or you become Muslim. There is no jizya in 9.5. There is no taxation. You don't pay money to save your life in 9.5. And that is the final word of Allah.
So you're saying the tax is only good for about 4 months?
No, they were able to pay taxes during the 4 forbidden months. After the 4th month is over, now you have no option but to become a Muslim. I'm going to kill you and keep your wife and your children alive. That's Islam. Another lie in another textbooks is what we read here. And this is written 2001.
2001, page 14, World History, Connections to Today. In a report on this book titled Islam in the Classroom, What the Textbooks Tell Us, Gilbert T. Sewell, American Textbook Council, New York, 2008, quote, some Muslims look on jihad or effort in God's service as another duty. Jihad has often been mistakenly translated simply as holy war. In fact, it may include acts of charity or an inner struggle to achieve spiritual peace, as well as any battle in the defense of Islam. So they might rake my leaves in my yard or cut my grass.
I think the only charity Muslim, and that's true, the only charity Muslim perform after they perform jihad is they feed the women and the children to rape them, to raise Muslim babies out of them. That is the only charity a Muslim can do. Now, he said, mistakenly translated to be a holy war. That is the only meaning for jihad, as Allah declared it in the Quran. I would challenge these people to show me one verse in the Quran. I will quote you 32 verses in the Quran which teach jihad to be a holy war. And I'll challenge these Muslims or the liberals who allow the Muslims to put this propaganda in our public school textbooks for our children to show me one verse in the Quran which teach it is a holy it's not a holy war, but it is a charity, some defense. You fight for the purpose of defense. This is a problem, Brennan. They are twisting the true meaning of jihad to make it fit with their propaganda that Islam is a loving, peaceful religion. And the idea is that only, as we read in the previous lie, only the community can declare jihad. Not one individual can declare jihad. This is a propaganda. Why do we say that? It's very simple. Because as you study the history of Islam, Muhammad was a man who declared jihad. The following Khalifa, Khalifa Abu Bakr Siddiq, the one who declared jihad. The following Khalifa, Khalifa Umar, is the one person declared jihad. The following Khalifa, Khalifa Osman ibn Affan, is the one who declared jihad, just one person. Let's go today. The Khalifa Baghdadi, the head of ISIS, the man who made up himself a Khalifa, is the one who declared jihad. So the idea is that you need a whole Muslim community to be united to perform jihad is a propaganda. Because guess what? Sometimes a Muslim country go in war against another Muslim country because simply one leader in this Muslim country made up the decision to perform jihad. So this is a propaganda lies that, oh, jihad cannot be declared by one guy. Well, how about the history of Islam? The last 1400 years, as we see, just always, many times, one guy declared jihad. One Khalifa made up the decision to go on and go ahead and behead and kill all the infidels and take over their homes and their land and their money. So this is obviously a lie. A quick response to this line. I believe that is what we should be teaching, Brennan. We should not teach this hogwash propaganda about jihad, but we should only teach the truth about jihad for the sake of our children, our grandchildren, to learn the truth about Islam. Because if jihad is no longer jihad, and if war in Islam is not war in Islam, well, all our children will become Muslim. Because after all, Islam is a loving, peaceful religion. We need to end this propaganda by telling our children the truth about Islam, the truth about jihad. Here's what we should
be teaching.
Sure.
Declarations of jihad have been made for purposes of violence against Christians, Jews, Americans, British, and other non-Muslim peoples since the days of Muhammad. Jihad has always been declared as an aggressive terror, not for purposes of defense. Many individuals claiming to be to represent various Islamic groups, large and small, have declared jihad.
Just single people, the Imam, the Khalifa, not the whole Muslim community. They did not have telephones and communication we have today in Muhammad days, that they brought the Muslim from all these countries to make a decision. Should we go in war against Spain? No, it was one guy, one Khalifa, make a decision. Omar, you take your soldiers and go to Egypt. And he went. And they went from Egypt to Libya, all the way to Morocco, across the Spain.
So they didn't have a vote. One guy made the decision.
Of course.
Whereas the textbook said it was made by the community.
There is no democracy in Islam. There is no votes in Islam. Khalifa rule, one man rule, over. It's over. There's not, let's think about it. There's no think about it. Anyway, another truth we should teach our children about jihad is...
Doctrinal jihad is described by Muslim scholars as stated in the Quran, Haditha, and Sunnah, has also one meaning, holy war.
That's a very important fact. You open the Quran, read about jihad. You open the Hadith and read about jihad. You look at all Muslim scholar interpretation, read about jihad. And the history of Islam, the last 1400 years, and we read about jihad. All of them teach one thing. Jihad is a holy war. Nothing more, nothing less. Exactly.
Islam was a cult spread by the sword of conquest, not self-defense.
And the proof of that is very simple. I would love for our Muslim friends to give us a written history about some country attacked the Muslims. Self-defense means what? I have to harm you first, or have to come to try to harm you, and then you defend yourself. But for you to leave your own home base and go to next town and start killing the people and taking their homes and their land and their money, that is not self-defense. That is invading. And that's exactly what Muhammad did throughout the history of Islam. Keep going here.
Islamic commanders were ruthless and cruel, conquering lands from the Christian Holy Land to parts of Eastern and Southern Europe. Constantinople, the former capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, a Christian land, was conquered by the Islamic Turks, and the church of Santa Sophia was turned into a mosque.
And anybody can go and see it right now. Many of the churches we read about in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, in Turkey, all these churches, the 7 churches, are gone. Hundreds and thousands of Christian churches has been burned down or have been destroyed by the hand of the Muslims. And this is part of the invasion. When you invade a country, destroys their land, destroys their building, kills their men, takes their women. And that's exactly what Muslims did.
But any of the churches, these big churches that are left, some of them have been turned into mosques.
You can go inside. If you go to Sophia Mosque, Sophia used to be a church, you see the big word Allah. The glass still is there. The design of the church is still there. The remarks, they kept it because it's a nice building. They just kill the Christian, takes their church, and make it a mosque.
And where is that?
That is in Turkey, Sophia in Turkey.
Wow.
Sad. It's very sad. And by the way, this is what's happening today even in England. Many of the churches in England, now Muslims are not kidnapping them, they're buying them. Because people in Europe no longer interested in worshiping Jesus Christ.
So you got all these empty buildings sitting there.
Empty building, and they can afford to run the electricity in it. So what do you do?
Muslim comes along and buys them.
If you go to England today, hundreds of the churches are mosques. They took the cross down. They take all the pew out, a nice piece of red carpet or blue carpet. It's a mosque. It will break your heart to walk in many of these what used to be churches, and now it's mosques all over Europe, especially in London. 12% Muslim live there. They bought so many of the churches, hundreds of them, and make them mosques. Continue with
what we should be teaching is Muslims conquered Jerusalem and built a mosque, the Dome of the Rock, on the foundation of the Temple of Solomon. The Jewish and Christian populations were known as dhimmi, had inferior status to Muslims and had few rights, and had to pay additional oppressive taxes. The tax is known as jizya.
Jizya. Hey, he said it right this time.
Thank you. Working on it.
You're getting up, Brandon. This is awesome. So that's the truth. That's the truth. Now, I want to quote just a couple of verses here to talk about this war and this jihad. I will advise our friends, if you get a copy of my Quran, it's very simple. Go in the back in the index and look for the word jihad. It will give you all the verses in the Quran, and you start reading the Quran and learn about jihad. Jihad is not what I think what it is or what Muslims think what it is. Jihad is the teaching of the words of Allah in the Quran. As you go through the Quran, Allah said to Muhammad so many times, "O you Prophet, perform jihad against the infidels and the hypocrites. Be harsh with them. Their ultimate abode is hell." I believe that's chapter 9, verse 73. So that is the meaning of jihad. Muhammad understood jihad to be holy war. Muhammad was commanded to perform jihad against the infidels. We know from many of our previous programs, I can't remember which one exactly, that all Christians are infidels because all Christians believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. All Christian believes that Jesus Christ is God Almighty, He came in the flesh. All Christian believes that God is a triune, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And Quran chapter 5, verse 72 and 573 declare all Christians are infidels. Period. Now, Allah is telling Muhammad in that verse, Quran chapter 9, verse 73, "O you Prophet, perform jihad against the infidels, against the Christians." And then he said, "And the hypocrites." Do you know who are the hypocrites, Brandon? These are the Muslims who refuse to perform jihad with Muhammad. The Muslim refused to go out and kill the Christian and the Jew with Muhammad. They are hypocrites, which in America may you call moderate Muslim. We don't believe in killing. We don't believe in Islam is love. If you believe Islam is love, Islam does not teach jihad to go out and kill. You are a hypocrite. You're not a moderate Muslim.
So the moderate Muslim is really a non-practicing Muslim.
Absolutely, which we call them hypocrite.
In the Quran.
Muslim by name, yes. And Allah is commanding Muhammad to perform jihad against the infidels equal to those who are hypocrites. Be harsh with them. Their ultimate abode is hell. They will die by the hand of Muhammad, and they
so
will
he's saying kill the infidel and kill the hypocrite. The hypocrite being the one who won't perform
be harsh
jihad.
with them. Some Muslim scholars say, well, you physically beat them, but don't kill them.
Okay.
But the truth is, if you are not with Muhammad, you are against him, and Muslims don't care. They will kill. Watch what's happening in the Middle East.
Which is why you have Muslims killing Muslims.
That's what I'm
Because
gonna
one
say.
group is radical and following the Quran to the letter, and the other one isn't.
They don't. And if you look today, ISIS, they killed many Muslims as much as they killed Christians. Why they kill the other Muslims? Because the other Muslims are hypocrites. They don't want to join them to become stronger army to take over the world. So, okay, if you're not going to join me, I'll kill you.
So they're basically Muslims that want to practice their religion as they see fit and not dirty their hands with jihad.
Absolutely. That make a Muslim a hypocrite.
How many, any idea the percentage of Muslims in America that would be considered hypocrites by the radicals?
I don't know. If I say 20% are true Muslim,
80%
we go for
they
80%.
would be, yeah.
But believe it or not, even these, what you call themselves moderate Muslim, when the right time comes, they will stand up with their Muslim friends, with Muslim family against the infidels. When the right time comes. Or they will not stop them from killing the infidels. How many times I hear on TV, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, different show, where is the moderate Muslims? Why is they not speaking up?
So they don't speak up because
what?
they might realize that the Quran says if they go against them, they're going to be killed too.
Absolutely. They don't speak
So they're
against,
afraid.
They're afraid, or they really want it, but I'm not going to do it. I'll pay you money and you go ahead and kill somebody.
They want it, but let someone else do it.
That's exactly what Saudi does. What the Saudi people doing is they give the fund all the money they need to the other Muslims. Saudi will not help a Palestinian by build them a school for them or do some charity work to aid them financially, food and medicine. But they will send 30,000 for a person's family if he or she commits suicide to kill some Jew. It's a very dirty world out there. But all go
So
back.
Saudi Arabia doesn't want to dirty their hands with it, but they'll pay others to do
If
it.
I have the money, why do I kill my son? I just give you 30 grand. You kill your son. Let your son commit suicide bombing for me, and I'll give you some money. It is.
And that's what that was.
And,
that was
by
in
the way, and that's jihad too, because Allah in the Quran tells the Muslim what? Oh, you believers, perform jihad with your lives and with your money. So money is a way to perform jihad because the soldiers are going to go out and fight. They needed money. So jihad in the Quran can be with a life, as a person go himself and die for Allah, or by the money, I'm going to pay you and you go fight for me.
In fact, speaking of Saudi Arabia, yesterday I had you on my radio program at the beginning because it's in the news today, and we're filming here in the middle of September 2014, that the police, the religious police, if you will, in Saudi Arabia have arrested Christians with their Bibles in their churches, including women and children.
And that's a home church group. It's a small groups, and they're all over. They're all over every country. You see them in any Muslim countries. There are lots of Muslims who become Christian on their own, studying the Bible, reading the Bible. We have them all over Egypt. I mean, we have stories to tell. My brother-in-law go to this house to fix the computer, and behold, what he have, nothing but Christian programs. And the man told them that they are Christian, a man, his wife, and his children. But they keep it in secret because if they speak it out, they're going to be killed.
Right.
They're going to be put in prison. The persecution is bad in the Middle East. But there are lots of Muslims who come to Christ to be born again Christian, and they just worship in their homes. They don't have the freedom we have in America. Last verse, Brennan. Last verse about
In the Quran.
the killing in Islam. Quran chapter 2, verses 216 to 218.
War is decreed to you, and it is hated by you, and perhaps you may hate something, and it is good for you, and perhaps you love something, and it is evil for you, and Allah knows, and you do not know. They ask you concerning war in the forbidden month. Say, engaging in war in it is big.
What do you mean about big here? Big means a sin. 4 forbidden months we mentioned earlier. It is a month where Arab before Islam were living in harmony with one another. So Brennan, they kill each other 8 months of the year, and when these 4 months come, they are called forbidden because they don't kill each other. This you put the sword aside, you put the spear aside, and you live in peace. So they allow the trafficking of goods north and south north to go through the land. After these 4 months is over, then they start killing each other. Now, Muhammad start killing in these 4 months. And Muslims say, wait a minute, that's a sin. Big means sin. So yes, Muhammad said, Allah said, yes, it is a sin. But listen carefully to the rest of the verse. Muhammad said,
And to prevent others from the way of Allah, and to become an infidel in him and the forbidden mosque, and to get its people out from it is bigger with Allah.
so it is bigger sin to let the infidel live in these 4 months. Yes, it is sin to kill because I'm breaking the tradition of the land. But you know what? More than that, it will be better for me to go ahead and kill the infidels because now we get rid of a bigger sin. So you're fixing a bigger sin by a smaller sin. Yes, it is not right to kill in the forbidden months, but I'm getting rid of the bad ones, the infidels. And then the rest of the verse said,
And the sedition is bigger than the killing, and they still engage in war with you until they apostate you from your religion, if they can. And whoever apostates among you from his religion, so he is put to death as an infidel.
so if we do not perform jihad against these infidels, if we don't kill these infidels, even in these 4 forbidden months, they will make you an infidel. And that is a sedition. That is a bigger sin. That's even worse. And Muhammad is trying to tell them, if we do not fight them to kill them, they will kill us until they make us infidels. And we are not going to allow this. Why? Because anyone who will die as an apostate must be put to death as an infidel. He or she must die as an infidel. And that is the punishment of Allah for anyone who apostates from Islam.
USAMA's website is thestraightway.org, thestraightway.org. I hope you're telling your friends about the program. I hope you're also telling them about how they can watch it free of charge through our app at worldviewweekend.com/app, worldviewweekend.com/app, or through our website, wvwtv.com, or our Roku channel, all the many different ways we have to distribute the program on a global scale as a broadcast ministry of this organization and The Straight Way. All right, folks, we look forward to our next broadcast. For you, Sama Dakdok, your host. Till next time, take care. Thanks for watching.